Hey everyone. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. So today, um, I am going to do kind of like a series. So today will be part one, and it's just a little mini series, kind of an inside look of how I choose, the books I color in, the pages, what materials I use, and things like that. So today is episode one. And what we're going to do today, we're going to do how I choose my book to color in. So before choosing pages and materials and things like that, I have to figure out which book I want to color in. And a lot goes into that as far as, me, because it kind of depends on where I'm coloring, how much time I have, what kind of coloring I want to do and things like that. So one factor as far as like where I color, I have a couple places. So I do take my coloring to work with me sometimes. I color here at my desk, and sometimes I color in the bed, and also sometimes I color in the living room. So it really depends on, where I'm coloring. And when I'm at my desk, I can pretty much, I'm kind of comfortable with coloring in any of my books at my desk. So if I'm coloring at my desk, then I have to kind of think about other factors because I can pretty much color anything at my desk. Now, when I'm coloring in the bed, I kind of try to not have so many things around me, just kind of like whatever I'm coloring in, and just either a couple colors or, one case of pencils or whatever the case may be. Um, when I'm taking my coloring to work, we are only allowed to carry a certain type of bag. So my bag is not too heavy or too bulky. I usually tend to bring smaller coloring books or coloring books where I don't have to pack so many supplies with me. Um, so another factor besides places, because once I've got kind of like where I'm coloring figured out, sometimes I'll even pick out two books. I'll pick out one to keep at my desk to work on, and then one for work for the week. Um, so another factor is kind of like where my mindset is. So do I want to color something complicated? Do I want to color something simple? Things like that. So usually like if I want to color kind of something mindless or simple, lately I've been coloring in this one. And this is 100 animal mandalas. Mandalas are a good way, like if you aren't, you don't want to pull out all your stuff, and you just kind of want to mindlessly color something while you relax and watch TV, or if you're just sitting on the couch or in the bed. You can just pull like a couple colors. I don't know why this paper is still in here. You can just pull a couple colors and basically, just have little simple, this one isn't very simple, but you can pull a couple colors and just start working. You can do markers, gel pens, and just kind of start working. It's kind of mindless. The colors, they can match, they can coordinate, or you can pull colors at random. You can choose one color, two tone, stuff like that. So this is a good one for when you are, or at least for me, and I mean any mandala book really. I'm not really a fan of them. I like this one because it has like an actual image and it's not just patterns, so this one has like the animal image. So like this one looks like a phoenix or something, and then there's still pattern to it, but they're animals. This one's a frog. So just mindless coloring. And usually what I'll do is I'll pick like a couple of colors, and I'll like go through my supplies and pick the colors that I want to use, and I'll put them like in a little pouch, and I can take something like that with me to the bed or to work. Even sometimes at my desk, if I'm just watching TV and I want to do something mindless, I'll pull this one out. Um, if I want to do something mindless and I'm not really in a pattern type of mood, then the next factor would be like pulling something out where I can use my markers, and then I can just put a base coat down, and that would be my mindless coloring, me just putting the base coat down. So a couple books I've pulled, sorry, I knocked the camera in every video, guys. um a couple books I've pulled for like mindless coloring, mindless base coating, is the Jade Summer books or the Camellia Angelkova books. Basically any book that's one-sided, because you can just put a paper behind there and you can just base coat, like this one's base coat. I haven't put any coloring or shading behind it yet, but I did put the base coat down, and if I wanted to, I can leave it just like this, or I can go back in later and, shade it. This one's a little patchy. I think my marker was running out, but it looks kind of cool because the bear is all torn up anyway. But, you can just pick some colors or pull your alcohol markers out and just kind of base coat, or if you just don't do shading at all, then this is a good way. And I have a couple Jade Summer books, and I have this is my one and only Camellia Angelkova book. These are cool too because these are actually smaller. So if you are wanting to do mindless coloring and you aren't in the mood for like something crazy detailed, you can pick one of these smaller pictures that's in here, and there's quite a bit of them, and just kind of color something. And you don't have to think too hard. You just put the coat of marker down, and you can either be done with it, or you can go back later or another day and fill it in, with more details or sparkles and metallics and things like that. So if this is another thing, like if I want to take one of these to work, then I'll usually pick out the markers and things like that before I go to work and just put them in a little pouch. Let me see. Do I have my pouch? Yeah. Give me a sec. I'll show you my pouch here. So I have like this little pencil pouch, and I have colors in here from the previous coloring, but I'll put them in here and I can just fold them over and carry. Ooh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. And I can just, fold this over and carry it in my bag. And I'll just have all the colors I need in here. And I can just do mindless coloring at work if I want to. Or sometimes I actually, like, if I go run errands and I know it's going to be like a long wait time, or if I have a doctor's appointment or something like that, I'll also bring my coloring book. So usually it'll be something, I guess mindless wouldn't be the word, really, but in a way it kind of can be, because sometimes that's what it is. You're just putting the color down while you're waiting, and you want to do some coloring, but you aren't quite, you're only going to be waiting a bit, and you don't have a time to have all your stuff with you and do a super detailed page and things like that. Another factor when I'm choosing my book is sometimes it can be like if I want something by a certain artist, or if I want to choose like my favorite artist or a type of artist. So some artists have really, really detailed stuff. Like we know the mythographic series with Joseph Cadenbang and Fabiana Atanasio and somebody else. You know, we know those are really detailed, or Kirby Rosan's or something like that. Um, but like for instance, if I wanted to color something by Joanna Basford, um, it kind of also helps when I'm choosing materials already, because there's certain materials that I like to use in certain books. So when if I was to choose Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, which this is now um gonna kind of become my just throw any kind of materials edit book. I'm gonna get another copy because I got this book early on in my coloring stages, and my style has definitely changed quite a bit. I was going in order, and then I'm losing interest in coloring in this one because my style has changed. So I might still finish this one, but I definitely want to get another one because we all know Jazz doesn't color like this anymore. So, and then, I started kind of, because I was losing interest, I was rushing some of the pages, and some of these pages are daunting like this one. So, I don't know. This one I think is going to become like kind of my test the new materials out kind of book. Eventually it'll get done, but I do want another copy. But when I'm choosing my book, I'm also thinking, okay, how much time do I have? And do I have time to bring the materials I need to color in this book? Is it worth bringing them along? Or do I need to choose something that, a little easier, or something that's not going to take up space in my bag for no reason, and I know I don't have time to use it efficiently? So Joanna, like if I want to choose something smaller or something quick, she has these little tiny kind of square images in here, like little pictures and things like that. So I can just bring something like my gel pens, or I can bring some of my what do you call them? The Crayola Super Tips, and just fill some of these in, one or two, while I'm at work or while I'm out, or something like this. So when I'm choosing a book, I'm thinking of all the things like that. I'm thinking of, okay, do I want a smaller image, a detailed image? Usually when I want to choose something more detailed, I lean towards Kirby Rosanis. I lean towards his stuff when I want something more detailed, because if I mean, everybody knows Kirby. We know his stuff is extremely detailed. So if I want like a longer project, if I'm at my desk and I'm like, I just want a picture and I want to work on it and I want to take my time doing it, and I'm a slow colorist already, but I like coloring slow because in the long run it turns out better than if I were to rush it. So what I do when I'm thinking about all of this, I go, okay, do I want extra detailed, or do I want like, detailed but not crazy, like something crazy would be like, oh, I know, something crazy would be like what is that book I just got? This one here, the Manic Botanic. Like, some of these are crazy detailed. Like look at this. So it really would just depend on, how much detail I want to color and how much time I want to spend on it. So I lean towards Kirby, and as of late, I have been leaning towards the mythographic books, more specifically by Joseph Cadenbang. I like his because the line work is not as bold as Fabiana's. So I lean towards his. This one is the Wild Winter one. This one I just got, and it's already falling apart. But that's kind of okay too, because I'm gonna move this back just a bit because I keep knocking it. Hang on a sec. Bear with me. So this is also kind of good that it's falling apart. I mean, these are perforated anyway. So if I'm working on a page, let's say I wanted to work on this one, I can just pull it out and put it in a clipboard or a little binder or something. Where's my binder? I have like a little clipboard binder around here somewhere. I can put that in my bag and bring my pencils with me, and that'll be enough to take with me to work or something like that. And then that way I still have something detailed to work on, but I don't have to worry about the bulk of bringing the book with me. That's another factor when I'm choosing books too, is the bulk, how big they are. Most of my books are like the square size. So like Kirby's books, Joanna's books, like that. But I do have some smaller ones. So like I have, where is it? So something small would be like the Rita Berman books. It's really small in size. Like there's my hand. Let's see. So it's on my mat here. It looks like it's about 7.5 or 8 by 8, somewhere around in there. So it's really small compared to, let's say, the mythographic book. So you can see the size here it's quite, so something like this in a case of pencils would fit in my bag. So what we're gonna do today, now that I've talked you all's ear off, is we are going to choose the book for our March color along while keeping in mind, um, you know, what how much time we have and things like that. So I know I said I was going to release a video and I was going to ask you guys which book, and for you guys to post down in a comment at the end of the last color along. And I don't have a lot of comments and things like that coming in to where people either they don't feel comfortable commenting or they just don't want to. So what I'm going to do is we're going to choose it in this video while keeping in mind my book choosing process. So I do have a couple books in mind already. One of them, of course, is going to be Rita Berman's. This one's fairly new that I just got. So the images in here are, they're not, they're detailed, but they're not like crazy, take a million years to finish detailed. So this is a good option for our next color along, because some of my color alongs, they come in a lot of parts, because that's what works better for me, and a lot of you seem to like that versus just, extra long videos. I try to keep them around like 30-40 minutes if I can. So I was thinking maybe this would be a good option because the pages are smaller and I can keep the videos within that time frame, and also it not be a million, videos. So that's an option. Another option would be to just go all out crazy and actually pick one from Mythographic, because I know a lot of people just got this Wild Winter one. I think I've already done like 3 pages in here, but I'm really enjoying this book. So I figured if I'm gonna choose another page from here, then maybe I would choose that with you guys. Odyssey is another good one. I also have Aquatic. So it would be, one of those. I figured if I'm gonna choose one from here though, I know the color along would probably last longer than just March. So it would be like March and April. Or if I'm gonna do it in March, then it would be 2 videos a week, because these pages are really detailed. And if I'm going to you know, pick something from one of these, then I know I'm looking for aquatic as I speak. Oh, here. I know that if I'm going to choose one from one of these, it's going to take a minute. So we won't go through the pages right now. Right now, we're just going over the book ideas. I was also thinking of doing another one in Fragile World, because you guys really seem to enjoy that color along. That color along actually is one of my most viewed color alongs. So, I mean, I was thinking World Within Worlds, but I mean, maybe, because another thing I'll do is I'm gonna narrow it down quite a bit, because this is kind of a lot. So definitely we're gonna choose probably either Rita Berman's. Let me pull this. And then another thing I do is when I'm choosing a book, I kind of just quickly you know, just kind of skim through and be like, oh, you know, maybe that's a good idea for a color along, maybe that one, maybe this is a good idea to color, type of thing. And I don't necessarily choose the page right then and there, but I kind of flip through it a couple times and I go, would I be able to sit through and color this thoroughly? Which the answer usually is no for most of my pictures, because I bounce around a lot, and that's why I have so many whips. But I'll flip through it a couple times, like, okay, so we just flipped through Worlds Within Worlds, and then I'll flip through Fragile World. So if I'm trying to choose between the two, I'll just kind of flip through it and go, okay, you know, which one is appealing to me more at the time, type of thing. So I just kind of flip and I just kind of look, and it's like it's appealing to me, but Worlds Within Worlds seems like it's appealing to me a little bit more. So I'll do that a couple times, but I think this one's appealing to me a little more. So what I'll do is I'll put this one back. That way I'm not going back and forth with myself a million times. And I'll put that one back, and then, so now we have one of these two. So now I have to pick one of the mythographics. So firstly here, we have aquatic, and I'm gonna move these two out of the way. We have aquatic, and I'll kind of flip through it. I hate that they have like these little images in these pictures, but what I do is I just kind of ignore them. Aquatic seems kind of cool. I see a couple of images that can be cool to color along with you guys. So I'm kind of looking at this one. This one seems pretty neat. This is one I'm working on. It probably won't be finished by the end of the month. We'll see. Aquatic seems pretty cool. And let me see here. Let's flip through Odyssey really quick. I think aquatic is appealing to me a little bit more. There's quite a few in here though that I want to do with you guys, whether it be just like a color in chat or something, not necessarily a color along. But I think aquatic is appealing to me more than Odyssey right now. So what I'll do is I'll put that one away, and then I've already done 3 in here, so I'm not really leaning towards this one, but I know a lot of you have this one. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have like, you know, most of them, but I almost want to save this one for like Christmas time. But there are some good ones in here. I don't know. Now I'm leaning towards Wild Winter. So this is what I mean when I say I flip through the pages, because sometimes, you know, it takes a couple of flip throughs before you decide to choose on a book. So I'll just flip through it a couple of times, and I'll just kind of, what was that? I'll just kind of, I'm still leaning towards aquatic though. I'm leaning towards this one. All right, so then I'll say, okay, so we have these three, and then I'll think to myself, okay, is there any other book that I want to kind of throw in as kind of a factor, you know, just kind of like is there any other books that I have that would beat these three at the moment? And I have my some Coloring Haven books, and I was thinking, well, we haven't done one of those in a while. I actually have some unfinished ones as far as color alongs go, but I don't know if I want to add another book into the process. So we're gonna choose from these three just to kind of not make it too crazy, because I can sit usually for about an hour trying to figure out what book I want to color in. So if we go with this one, the color along wouldn't be as long, and you know, we can choose a page that would probably be done within like three videos or so. Probably like within a couple weeks. It's also, not only is it smaller, it's kind of a popular one that everyone is either got when it first came out, or they're still kind of getting. So you guys are more likely to be able to color along with me. So I'm leaning towards this. I don't think we've done one in Worlds Within Worlds together at all as far as color alongs go, because I think I've only done like 2 or 3 images out of here. Yeah, so we can choose this. I mean, we haven't done one in Rita Berman either, but I've had this book for a while. Maybe there are a couple pages that I do want to color. Do I want to color them on camera? I'm not really sure. Maybe another month. I'm not feeling this one. So usually when I'm not feeling it, I'll put it back. That way I don't have to go and look through it again. So I'm not feeling it compared to these two. And Aquatic has some really nice ones. So if I choose this one, like I said, the color along is going to be quite long. I'm going to have to either put out 2 videos a week, or it's going to have to stretch across probably 2 months, because I do work full time, and sometimes I don't upload the videos every weekend like I should, because I'm usually tired and recuperating from work. So I think, to be safe, we should go with this one. Also, mainly because March, it's supposed to be busier at work, at my job. So just in case it is, and I don't feel like uploading, it would probably be better to choose this one. So I think we'll choose this one for March. And then for just kind of a color along, or just a little extra, I might throw in some coloring footage of aquatic. So that's pretty much my process on choosing books. I usually just take into account, where I'm coloring, how long I'm going to be there or how long I'm going to be sitting. If it's something that I can color for a long time without getting bored. Because I swear sometimes I feel like I have ADHD, and I probably do. I'll get bored extremely fast and I'll move on to something else, which is why I have so many whips. And so I kind of go, okay, do I want something easy? Do I want something I can do really quick? Um, is this going to be a good month for me when I just push out a lot of pages, or am I just going to have one or two type of thing? So I kind of factor in all of that. I also factor in, just like really quick, what materials also, go in this book, and do I feel like using them? So that's pretty much my thought process on when I'm choosing a book. And I can sit for about an hour or two and just kind of go through all my books and get a rough idea inside of my head. I just realized that this book has like a little indent. I didn't realize that when I got it, but that's okay. I don't think it's interfering with any of the pages, is it? No, I don't think so, because it's like in the binding, so it's okay. I sit and I can go through all of my books more than once, multiple times, until I figure out which one I want to color in. And this is all before I even choose a page. Like, choosing my book probably takes the longest before choosing my page or materials or anything like that. It takes me longest to choose an actual book that I want to work in, because I don't really like having a whole bunch of books on my desk. So I try to just, work in one or two at a time. So that's usually how I figure out what book I want to work in. So that is the end of episode 1. Stay tuned for episode 2, where we choose which page and how I choose my pages. And then once I'm done explaining how I choose my pages, we will choose the page for our next color along, which will probably start like maybe mid-March, beginning of March. We'll see. But hopefully the beginning of March. But again, it's a smaller book, size of my hand, so we'll be okay. So thanks for sticking around, and let me know down in the comments, like, how do you choose your book? Because maybe the way you think about choosing a book might help me choose my books a little faster. I kind of want to get better at choosing a book faster than, a couple hours, because when I have to go to work, I don't have really a couple hours before work to figure out which book I'm going to bring. So it's usually a rush decision, unless I can figure it out the night before. So let me know down in the comments, how do you choose your book before you start coloring? Or do you just choose at random? Like, what is your process for choosing your book? I know a lot of you don't like to comment, or, rarely comment. And that's okay if you don't want to comment. You don't have to. But those of you that do like to comment, let me know down in the comments what's your process. That's the end of episode 1. And I want to thank you all for coming to my channel, spending some time with me and learning my process, and hanging out for my little mini series that I've started. And let me know what you think about the series too. Likes and subscribes always helps. So for those of you that leave likes on all my videos, I know there's a couple of you that actually watch and leave likes on all of my videos, so thank you for that. Thank you for all of my subscribers, new and old, and I will see you in the next video.